It's been almost 10 years since Captain America Civil War came out. 10 years. Time is moving fast. A lot has changed. The MCU has changed. The audience has changed. But one thing hasn't changed for me. I still love this movie. This is my second favorite Marvel movie of all time. Infinity War is number one, and honestly, it feels almost unfair to compare the two. Infinity War is a completely different beast. But Civil War? By God, does it come dangerously close. And before Infinity War shook the universe, we had Civil War tearing it apart from the inside. People forget this. Before Thanos snapped half the universe, Zemo snapped the Avengers. This movie had almost the entire Avengers roster at the time. It felt massive, but what made it special wasn't just the scale, it was the writing. Because before this, Marvel movies were honestly mostly just spectacle. Hero fights villain. Villain is bad because he's bad. Big fight, problem solved. Civil War changed that. Let's talk about Baron Zemo. Marvel gets a lot of criticism for weak villains, and yeah, sometimes that criticism is fair. I still like Ultron though, even if most people don't. But Zemo was different. On the surface he looks unimpressive. No powers, no armor, no super serum. Just a normal guy. But this man had a plan, and he executed it perfectly. This was the first time in the MCU where you watched the villain and thought, yeah, I understand why he hates the Avengers. His family died because of the Avengers, because of their fight with Ultron. He didn't want to beat them physically. He couldn't. He wanted to break them, and he did. He's one of the first Marvel villains that actually won. That matters. And honestly, Zemo felt like the blueprint for Thanos. Layered, personal, emotional. Not evil for the sake of being evil, yet somehow Zemo gets forgotten. And that's disappointing. But it's not just Zemo. Every character in this movie suddenly felt more real. Tony, Steve, Natasha, Wanda, they weren't just superheroes anymore. They felt like people. For a moment, Marvel stopped feeling like a colorful superhero ride. It felt like real cinema. And this is where the writing becomes genius. If you really know Tony Stark, the reckless, arrogant, I built it because I can Tony, you'd think he would be the one fighting against the Sokovia Accords. You'd think he would say, no one controls us, but no. Tony supports the Accords because he knows he messed up. Ultron was his fault. He carried that guilt. For once, Tony wants accountability. Now look at Steve Rogers, the patriotic soldiers, the disciplined man of rules. You'd think he would trust the government. You'd think he'd sign without hesitation. But after Winter Soldiers, after learning that Hydra infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D., Steve doesn't trust systems anymore. He believes in people, not institutions. So he stands against the Accords. That role reversal, that's poetry. And yes, the action, the airport battle is still one of the most iconic scenes in Marvel history. Characters meeting for the first time, the chemistry, the banter, the energy. It was fun. But even that fun had tension underneath it, because we knew this wasn't just another team-up fight. This was friends breaking apart. And then we get to the final fight. Tony, Steve, and Bucky. No armies, no skybeams, no alien invasion. Just 3 men in a broken bunker. And it feels personal. Every punch has a weight. Every hit means something. You understand Tony's rage. You understand Steve protecting his friend. And that's what makes it powerful. You can't easily say one of them is completely right. That's the brilliance. At the time, people were arguing online, especially comparing it to Batman vs. Superman. Some were saying BVS had better fight. And look, I liked that movie. But emotionally, logically, in terms of the build-up, nothing compares to what Civil War did. That final fight wasn't just spectacle, it was the emotional breaking point of the Avengers. They didn't reunite again until Endgame. That's impact. 10 years later, this movie still feels strong, not just because of nostalgia, but because of how well it was written. Layered villain, reversed character expectations, emotional conflict, action with weight. This wasn't just heroes punching one another. This was ideology, guilt, trust, friendship, and breaking apart. Honestly, I think I need to watch this movie again. And if it's been a while for you, maybe you should too. And as always, it's time for a goodbye.